Welcome back, everybody, to Megaman XDive. I'm joined by my friend David. Say hello to the people.
We're in there one Micro before here.
And today I have a very interesting topic of conversation, and that is how external media affects how you perceive media in the present.
Here we go.
Like, I understand why these movie adaptations change the source material. I really do. Because if you've already read the source material, and you go to the movie, it doesn't hit the same. I think the most recent one for me is I've read the Watchmen comics. Have you read the Watchmen comics, by the way?
I have not, no.
Okay, you should, because they're actually really good, and they are a true testament to what comics could be if you allow the writers to take them very seriously, and I really like it. And by seriously, I don't mean dark and edgy and gloomy. No, I mean seriously in the sense that they are trying to earnestly tell you a story. And so, one of the big twists in the movie versus the comic book is how the story ends. Because for the most part, the movie and comic follow a damn near identical story structure, a damn near identical plot, and the script is literally made with quotes from the comic. Like, maybe they changed a reading, or changing which past participle verb is used, but the actual script for the movie is just the comic book's dialogue. The ending is where it's changed, however, and why it affects the way you perceive the movie if you've already read the comic. In the comic book, it ends with a giant squid attacking Earth. In the movie, it ends with a tachyon bomb that simulates a nuclear bomb, killing everyone in New York, LA, as well as a few other countries. And while the ending does remain the same, that humanity becomes united in their quest to stop what they perceive to be a great evil, the way that that scene is handled, the reason it's still shocking for the comic book readers, because that's not how the movie ended. So I understand that. But then we have the other issue, where sometimes the studios are just telling you way too much information ahead of time before you even go see the movie. Like, why would they show a trailer and marketing material, as well as a roadmap, this is for Marvel now, of Phase 4 of the MCU, featuring the Spider-Man, and then kill off Spider-Man, quote-unquote kill him off, in reality just snap him away in Infinity War? Like, that's my perspective. I want to know what you think about these two perspectives first.
I legit don't understand how you can feel that way. Like, here's the thing. Yes, many people know that Spider-Man was gonna come back. We all knew. But that's the thing. We knew he was gonna have the movie, so it was shocking that it happened. It was shocking that he died in the first place. We didn't see that coming at all. That's what made it so devastating and tragic for me, because it came with a huge shock. Like, yeah, we know he's gonna come back in more movies, but still, that's why something like this got to me. That's why it still hits the impact as it was meant to be. It's just the straight shock of them killing off Spider-Man when he despite knowing you'll come back.
I think another thing is the fact that the Infinity War comic also existed, because you knew people got snapped away and then they get brought back. So you knew that going into, if you were a comic reader, because the majority of the people who watch the MCU don't actually read comics, that's a minority. But if you were a comic reader, then I don't think you would feel it the same way either. I think you would also have a less impactful experience.
I honestly don't think I would. I think the should still feel the same. You just made a person
like at this point. I think you're sensitive.
That's basically like saying I read a manga and I watch an anime adaptation. I know what happened next, but I still feel what happened during those scenes.
Well, but the thing is, I feel it differently though. How do I explain this?
Okay,
it's like right now I'm reading the novelization of Man of Steel, right? I'm reading the novelization, and I'm still feeling the scenes, the writing, and everything. But if I had never watched the movie and went into it blind, I know for a fact I would feel something completely different, and that's where I'm getting at. And in the case of a comic book death, and part of why those are so difficult to pull off, is when you have a comic book death of a character on the level of, say, Spider-Man or the Superman. Like, for example, when a Robin dies, yeah, that's fucking tragic, because that there's a chance that unless there's a Lazarus pit, that Robin's not going to come back for the remainder of that story arc.
People voted for that. People voted.
I'm aware that they voted for him to die. And then they also fired that writer afterwards because it was such a freaking, let's just say, controversy at the time.
Oh my god, people.
Well, you gotta remember that the comics code of ethics in America was still in effect when they did that.
What code of ethics?
Oh my god, do you even know the history of comic books?
No, I don't.
No wonder this stuff affects you. So the comic code of ethics is actually responsible for giving Batman his no-kill code, as well as a few other restrictions within comic book medium during the era. That is the most famous one that stuck around. Batman having his no-kill code. Batman having a no-kill code was not a creative decision. Not a goddamn chance. That was a case of the Comics Code of Ethics of America saying, no, you can't have your superhero for children kill people. Because remember, back in that era, comic books were literally meant for children. Having older readers was an anomaly, because that was considered something for fringe weirdos and not the general public. Because you gotta remember that the times were different.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why. But meanwhile, if you look at really old Batman stuff, you see him holding a machine gun and mowing down Nazis. Which, by the way, that comic panel is so badass. Yeah.
Another same comic, the same comic where Joker teams up with Red Skull, but then
No, that's
realizes he
way
wasn't good
later.
enough.
That's way later.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually like the comic code of ethics responsible for Robin being created, for Batmite being created, for Batman during the Silver Age having the most ridiculous stories known to man. Because, you know, they couldn't have a scene where Batman just straight up harpooned a shark. So in order to tone it down for the younger audience, they used the shark repellent bat spray type shit. Like, yeah, it's iconic now because it's funny, but you realize thinking back, it's like, that wasn't a creative decision, let's be real. They just didn't want to show them harpooning a shark.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, the comic code of ethics really had it out for Batman, though. Like, they really hated that guy. Because remember, the original Batman was, like, this really cruel guy who would, like, brutalize the fuck out of criminals. And he would use, like, a gun to pick up thugs. Which, by the way, if it isn't obvious, Schneider was very heavily inspired by the golden age of comics. So people saying, Batman doesn't kill people. Like, he used to. Back in the day, he used to kill people with no remorse. Like, literally no remorse.
Huh.
Yeah.
Never aware of that.
Or it's like how they changed Alfred from, like, in the modern day, Alfred is a Vietnam vet. He was in Burma type of stuff. Whereas, like, in the original comics, he was a World War I veteran. But it's like, okay, fine, because Batman came out in 1939, so I get that. Like, that's a case of, you know, making sure Alfred can be alive in the modern day kind of storytelling. It's crazy that it took until the Bronze Age to reveal Lucius Fox, though.
That long, really?
Yeah. Eventually, people stopped caring about the Comics Code of Ethics of America because they realized they're getting their lunch eaten by other comics that aren't meant for children. Because, you know, at the time, after World War II, cowboys, pirates, and vampires became all the rage in comics, and superheroes took a setback. So, you know, that's just what's gonna happen. And there were some really weird comics back in the day. Like, let's be real, okay? Batmite should... I don't know. I think that's a character that should stay in the past. I don't know why James Gunn has a fascination with that guy.
What?
Did you hear that James Gunn's, like, a huge fan of Batmite?
I did not know that.
I'm like, please don't have that in your live-action movie, dude. That character does not work in live-action.
I don't know. It kind of makes... I can understand why you like Batmite.
I mean, like, in the Silver Age of comics, it makes sense. That's a more, like, light-hearted tone of comics.
I mean, also, it makes sense. If Superman has someone like that, he has Mr. Mixie Pitlick.
True, but let's be real, how many movies have adapted that character?
He was in 3 live-action shows.
I said movies, but okay.
Yeah, no, fine, no movie.
Yeah, because there are some things that don't work in movies, and I stand... You know, this is actually something I respected about the X-Men movies. That they didn't use, for some characters, the comic-accurate outfit, because to be fair, some of those outfits look fucking ridiculous in live action. It's like, this is... Like, I like Wanda in, like, Civil War, for example, Marvel Civil War. But her WandaVision outfit, I'm sorry, that does not work in live action. That outfit is designed for a comic book.
Can't agree with that. I like a WandaVision outfit.
Well, it's more like you like the comic design. I don't think you actually think that outfit looks good in live action. I might be wrong.
I know you're wrong. I do.
Do you have any sense of fashion, David?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay. It's like
But
it's like Superman's red underwear kind of thing. That's something that only works in comics.
No, really, it makes sense why.
Like, Reeve did it well.
It would just be plain blue.
Well, no, because even Henry Cavill didn't have the red trousers, but the red was in the form of a red belt, which fit.
Yeah.
Because it looks goofy.
Answer your question about back to the X-Men, I would have agreed with you about that, but then we got Deadpool and Wolverine, and that outfit looks sick.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, that was made in 2020 technology. In the 2000s and 90s, they would not have made the outfit look that good.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It's like, I don't think so. I think the yellow spandex would have looked ridiculous with 1990s technology. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just said I agree with you. I'll give you that.
Yes, exactly. I just wanted to reiterate it. I don't like Genki. I think Genki is an annoying character. From Spider-Man.
Who?
Genki from Spider-Man.
Oh, come on, Genki was alright.
Fucking annoying, dude. Have Spider-Man build this shit. Or at the very least, say Tony Stark did it. Like, don't tell me this random high schooler is doing this shit.
Wait, where's actually Genki in MCU?
I'm sorry, who's that Asian guy who helped Spider-Man from the chair?
Ned.
That's Ned. I'm thinking of Genki from the Insomniac universe, my bad.
Yeah, also...
I don't like Ned.
But also, Ned doesn't build anything for Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
he helps him
different.
out,
Yeah,
so.
he helps him out, yeah. I hope we can be reasonable adults here. So, in other words, you can't... Okay, so I've now confirmed my suspicions. I'm doing Stellar Blade by myself.
What do you mean by that?
I wanted to see how you would react to me having a scene like that to determine if I should do Stellar Blade by myself or with you.
Oh, look, give me the one thing. It doesn't prove anything.
It proved enough for me. I want that commentary to be taken seriously.
Look, with Stellar Blade, I'll take it seriously because they are It's expected. It's fine. Here we just here I'm always surprised there was something like a role. But in Celebrate, I'll of course will take it
Dude, she has a
seriously.
fucking Playboy bunny outfit in this game.
Apparently I missed that.
Like, bro, we get to see her in like a fucking bikini as well.
That one I knew. But look, point is I would take Celebrate seriously.
No, you
Because it's a different game, different tone.
But I wanted to see how you would do it if you were just reacting to it naturally. That's why I did it this way.
Look, point is, look, just get,
The point is you want to be in that playthrough. I get it.
okay, let's go back to the topic. We'll talk about comics, right?
Yes.
Okay, look, back to the whole thing. Back to what the original topic on this. I get what you're trying to say of how sometimes external media can affect when you know something's coming, but I just don't see it like that. When I thought, even if I know what something's gonna happen next, sometimes it's. But even if I know what's gonna happen in a future project, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care how that affects the current project.
But the problem is that it's the same project though. It's the MCU.
But still, but not the same film. Like
The MCU was designed to be one giant TV show, basically.
okay, here's the example that I hear people talk about a lot. I want to see your take on it. The scene in Captain America and with the Soldier, where Nick Fury takes his iPad off. How do you feel the same after seeing Captain Marvel and seeing how he really lost his eye?
No, it loses the power because the MCU is written like a giant TV show. That's the mentality. It's like watching an episode of TV and then having something get retconned or changed later. The MCU, if you look at the inception of the MCU, with the exception of Iron Man 1 and Hulk, which were a completely different idea when it first began. Because Hulk and Iron Man 1 that were made to sell comic books, then they decided, no, we're just gonna make our own series and like that. By that point in time, the MCU was written to be a theatrically released TV show. That was the stated goal. And as such, as a theatrically released TV show, we treat each movie as its own episode of TV, which is basically what they are. Because the truth is, most of these MCU movies after Phase 2 don't really hold up by themselves. I really don't think so. A lot of it is held up by the fact that you know the characters at that point and you're already into it. But then again, at the same time, you could say, like, you don't start watching Harry Potter at Deathly Hallows, obviously. But that's a bit different because it's a whole movie saga based off books, which also has its own issues because they're adapting a source material quite faithfully compared to the MCU, which takes aspects from the comics but doesn't adapt them faithfully. You know, in the comics, Iron Man doesn't get taken by Middle Easterners, he gets taken by Vietnamese communists, stuff like that. But the idea is still there. But since now that it's no longer designed to be created similar to film, but rather more like a TV show, you see the building blocks of these movies and realize that they have a lot of issues individually. If you just look at them as solo movies. A lot of the MCU's issues get fixed when you know what's going on in other movies, previous or future. But at the same time, by that same metric, the issues of the MCU are also shown when we have the example of Nick Fury and Captain Marvel and how he loses his eye. That's just, it ruins the impact because in the back of my mind, I'm saying, yeah, that's kind of lame. And the problem is Captain Marvel is also still part of the Infinity Saga, so Iron Man 1 all the way till Endgame, effectively, as one big saga. Because it's still part of the saga, it's also even harder to separate it. Now, I can watch Iron Man 1 through Avengers and treat that like its own little saga, just skip the end credits scene, and it works fine. It's actually really cool to watch it that way. But once you get to all the extended information afterwards, anything you do in later movies can retroactively affect your viewing experience on a rewatch. It's kind of like how the death of Howard Stark and his wife is very impactful when you watch Captain America 1, assuming you don't read comics, of course. If you read comics, this is a completely different story. But assuming you don't read comics, it's very impactful. But then you watch Winter Soldier and you rewatch Captain America 1, now you're not watching that scene like, oh my god, what a fucking tragedy. You're watching that scene as like, fuck, he did it. Oh, I see that date. Oh, that's the date that's in Winter Soldier and Civil War. Oh my god, type shit.
I really don't. I rewatched those movies after seeing Civil War, and I don't feel that way at all.
Like, how often, though? Because I'm rewatching these movies more often than I really should, honestly. And maybe it's because I've seen the movies so many times.
I've seen them like twice in the past 2 years.
Oh, you see, that's what we're different. I've seen Captain America 1 maybe like 8 times in the past 6 months. Because I actually really like Phase 1 of the MCU a lot. Like, a lot. I like Phase 1. Like, I can rewatch any of those Phase 1 movies quite often. Like, maybe the one I've seen the least is Hulk, but it's a really good movie.
Actually, I haven't seen Hulk.
It's pretty good.
Like, it's kind of a shame we'll never get to see it ever again. We'll never get a solo Hulk movie.
Yeah, because someone else owns the rights or something.
Universal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was bound to happen because Marvel Comics was about to go bankrupt, so they sold Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Hulk, their big three.
Hulk Universe sold Wolverine to
Fox.
Fox and Spider-Man to Sony.
Yes. So they sold the three biggest comic book characters that Marvel had were those three: Hulk, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. So it makes sense. Yeah, like let's just say this. If Marvel had all of their characters from the start, they would not have started with Iron Man. The first movie would have been Wolverine, followed by Spider-Man, followed by Hulk, and then we would have gotten a team-up movie. And then we would have started adding other characters.
Okay, so we're taking a break from this, because this time we gotta talk about the story here in XDive. Magma Dragoon is a seriously important character in the lore of Mega Man X. He basically in the game, he and Zero are kind of like best bros, aside from X. And so when Magma Dragoon became a traitor, if you play as Zero during his game, it became quite a shock, and it was a whole different battle. It wasn't just a good guy fighting a robot. These are former friends now fighting against different sides. It was intense. And to this day, Magma Dragoon is still one of the most iconic boss fight in the Mega Man X franchise.
I need to replay the X series. I swear to God, I don't remember shit from this series, apparently.
Listen to what he says. When he's attacked, listen.
I don't record with the volume on, dude.
What are you talking about? I'm literally hearing the audio right now.
No, I mean, when I record the commentary over these videos, I'm not listening to the video.
Oh. Well, he's literally doing Hadouken and Shoryuken.
Oh. Good to know.
Yeah, but all they make them pretty cool too.
It just feels like they're ripping off Street Fighter. I get it because it's Capcom, but still. Oh, right, speaking of Capcom, you're gonna buy Pragmata?
Maybe. I think they look pretty good.
Dude, my favorite comment in that trailer is people saying, "Oh, we finally get to play as Mega Man's daughter." That shit was so funny. I'm like, wow, Mega Man fans being so desperate for classic Mega Man is crazy. Because, dude, she has a fucking Mega Buster.
Yeah, I know. I honestly might get it. It does look pretty good.
It's like, out of all these showcases, Nintendo Direct, Xbox Live Showcase, and PlayStation State of Play, that was the only game that actually made me go, I'm gonna buy that day one. That was the only one. And that's kind of embarrassing. Because during E3, man, I would come in with a list of like 15 games I wanted. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I can kind of get that. In the past two Nintendo Direct, the Partner Showcase and Indie Showcase, they didn't really show that much.
What the fuck did they show in the Partner Showcase? I don't even remember.
And they show Sparking Zero coming to Switch 2. We're getting another Monster Hunter story. What else was there? Oh yeah, we're getting more on Katamari. The game where you throw things to a ball to make stars.
Weird.
I have no idea what it's called.
You know what? Let's do one more because we get to do Eggman Land. Oh no! What am I fucking talking about? We're recording Mega Man.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking tired.
Are we still recording? I don't know what you think we're ending.
Have a nice day, everybody.